Starting.
Welcome, everyone, to another Nintendo Direct, the first of 2022.
Hey.
Yes.
So what do we start with? And they mentioned that it's mostly gonna be about stuff that's coming out in the first semester. So, don't expect too many, big reveal for next year.
Well,
Maybe one or two.
Well, they said the earlier half of 2022.
Oh,
no,
Fire
it's just
Emblem.
Triangle Strategy.
No, Fire Emblem. Again, there was rumor the Intelligent
Fire
System
Emblem
wanted to show
Warriors,
something.
Free Hopes. Wait, is this a sequel to Free Houses?
The cycle of this world, I will not allow it to perish with you.
Yeah, it's because it increased. Because it's. Oh, I get what they're doing. Just like the first Hyrule Warriors had the sequel, Age of Calamity be centered around Breath of the Wild. This instead is centered around Free Houses.
Which makes sense. Free Houses was a massive success. Despite all the jokes we made about Free Houses, probably just going to be your typical high school venture. Free Houses was a pretty nice game, honestly.
Honestly, Java, of the new Fire Emblem games that they've done in recent times, Fates is the only one that's more polarizing. And even at that, it's not something that one could describe as completely bad. Just, a bit unfocused.
Well, that's the thing.
Does this take place in that time skip?
I don't know.
That's the thing. Fate seems to be the one game that, well, even Fire Emblem fans aren't really too much a fan of.
Wait,
hold on.
It's mostly because of the localization, Java.
Wait, are they going to have post-time skip errors, though?
Okay, considering what happened with Age of... Java, consider what happened with Age of Calamity, are you surprised that they're gonna have wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey shenanigans?
Possibly.
I'm Shinya Takahashi, and I'll be your guide for today's Nintendo Direct.
Okay.
What you just saw was the trailer for the Fire Emblem.
What happened to the houses?
Ah!
They're gone, leaves. They're destroyed.
Ooh,
the big bad wolf blew them away.
Wait, different story. I wonder if this will possibly give us a golden route where all three can just get along together.
Oh, there you go, Advanced Wars.
We've got more intel on the Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp game. In the first campaign,
so this is the Advance Wars.
Yeah.
Provides a colorful cast of commanding officers and use their abilities in vibrant turn-based battles. Each commanding officer is now
voice acting,
bringing even
might as well.
These characters.
You're gonna get hurt.
I see right through your plans.
Another full campaign awaits in Advance Wars 2
Superpower.
Black Hole Rising. More commanding officers and more diverse terrain can be leveraged for additional tactical opportunities, like blasting through pipelines to cross into enemy territory. In both campaigns, you can fast-forward gameplay and reset
that's neat.
for a smoother tactical experience.
You can do that in FIFA, actually. You can rewind. It's like if you missed a goal, you can rewind and try again.
Clearly the same thing.
Not online, obviously.
Or battle friends and frenemies in local
Advance Wars is still looking good.
Also, Potemkin, what are you doing here?
Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp.
Also, Advance Wars, but it's not on the Game Boy Advance.
Pre-orders are available now.
Semantics.
Huh? Wait, No Man's Sky! Yes, it's No Man's Sky!
How the hell are they gonna get this on the Switch?
Well, it's simple, Dwibs. They won't follow the BS tactic that a lot of companies do with half-assing their ports.
Don't jinx it.
Well, okay, I would hope that they do have integrity, seeing as how they have had one hell of a redemption story regarding this game.
I mean, if you're talking about cloud gaming, Joe, that's not inherently bad, it's just how you do it.
No, Dwibs. A lot of companies have half-assed their Switch ports. It's not exclusively cloud gaming.
In this living and breathing universe.
Now, that being said, probably in the future, Joe, there'll probably be a thing where you can actually use a cloud to play a game.
Hunt unwary travelers.
Why would you do that?
Ever watchful.
Oh, I know. Why would you play Doom on a toaster?
I don't know. That's one of those cases where, like, it doesn't matter how good of an internet you are. There's always going to be some delay compared to actual local play. It's never going to get to a point where cloud gaming will be just as good as local play.
Yeah, honestly, you're really just better off porting the game instead of doing cloud gaming.
Next.
Oh, a Mario soccer game? Wait.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Mario Strikers is back?
Is this the next thing that, oh god, the Delugious Mansions that are doing next level games? Remember, they were the ones who did originally the original Strikers.
Yep.
Oh god, that DKR
Wow, this is one of those rare times that Donkey Kong and Bowser are best buddies.
You know, I'm surprised they even brought back the art style. For those who don't know, Mario Strikers was, well, something that really went out.
Mario Strikers Battle.
Mario Strikers, for those who don't recall, was a series that really went outside of Nintendo's comfort zone, like, to the point where I think it was rated T for teen at some point.
I would like to remind that, not this one, but that was the game that had Waluigi's victory pose, him literally telling everyone to suck his dick.
Hey, yes. Rosalina's floating, that's cheating.
Does that explain the cheating then, or...?
Possibly.
Like, seriously though, like, Mario Strikers was something else, like... So honestly, the fact that Mario Strikers is back is nothing short of some black magic ritual. How the heck it did this come back?
It's just to let to know if it's done by next level games or not.
Strength and pass accuracy. Customize as you see fit. Second.
Speaking of black magic rituals, I hope those of us who made Splatoon 3 summoning circles didn't waste our time.
Sorry, Shiro, you kind of botched the spell. Instead of Splatoon 3, now we're getting Splat 3 2.
For those
They'll rename the game that.
Sounds like word vomit.
Of course.
4 players on each team can compete against each other on one Nintendo Switch system.
Online matches.
I mean, why not?
Online play will have an online
Nintendo's Wi-Fi. That's going to be a miracle.
Honestly, it seems to work fine with Mario Party and with Mario Kart 8 as well.
So create your own and invite friends and family to play alongside you. Or join an existing one owned by other
Also,
players.
Rosalina, you cheat.
Yeah, you can't float in football. What did he think you are, Atletico Madrid?
Well, he did
the
just
queen
say...
can do what the queen wants.
No, she can't.
Yeah, she can.
No, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
she can.
She'd be investigated by the doping authority.
I wasn't aware that you were a Rosalina fan, Shiro.
The latest iteration of the Mario Strikers.
Well,
She's pretty. What do you want from me?
Well,
Oh, I see how it is.
well, think about it, Pedro. Rosalina's a platinum blonde, just like Shiroi. Of course.
Alright, next.
Game footage not final. Well, if it's not
Wait,
final,
is this
then
Bayonetta free? Oh, never mind, it's Splatoon free.
there you go.
There you are.
Speak of the devil, eh, Shiroi?
Wait, is this actually Salmon Run?
Yeah, I was gonna. This is Salmon Run.
You actually were asking for this on Twitter, I noticed that.
But what's the context for this now?
They felt like it.
But that's weird, though. I thought we were supposedly friends with Salmon now going up.
Well, again, little buddy doesn't have to know, as a lot of people have been saying.
True. Oh, wait.
What the fuck is that?
Tata?
False
Wait.
salmonoid fish stick. What?
Oh, and
Boy,
you...
ladies and gentlemen, the greatest villain of all time, a stick.
It sounded like they was playing Tata's theme. That's so weird.
Oh, there... A salmon dolphin shark? Flipper flopper.
It must be the new fake way. If you're in that circle, you can barely move.
How great to see that...
It's more like it's an area of attack where it sprays a paint different from your one.
How great to see that salmon run's gonna be even more chaotic now.
Egg throwing, it looked like it missed. What the hell's with
Well,
this
I'm
music?
just happy.
Did someone?
It's a little fucked up, but I'm happy.
Did someone compose this music in Mario Paint?
No, you're thinking of Toby Fox.
Anyway, what you're hearing right now, dudes, is a weird take on the violin. Trust me, if you listen clear, you can tell that this part actually has to use... What?
That's an egg basket.
Sorry, the broadcast
What is
has been interrupted.
happening?
Oh my god.
It's a hen? But there hasn't been a first wave yet.
Actually, dudes, what you just saw was the first wave in action. Basically, the way Salmon Run works is in waves here.
That was the trailer for the co-op mode.
It's kind of like Man vs. Machine in Team Fortress 2.
Salmon Run. A giant salmonid, one that's never been seen before.
It's like a good...
Weird combination of a fish and a hen.
It reminds me of one kaiju, but I can't remember which one.
Splatoon 3 will launch this summer.
Yeah, summer release. That's what everybody figured.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
More Nintendo Switch headlines.
I'm not gonna lie, this direct...
Wait, is this Front Mission?
Eh?
And Front Mission, for those who don't know, is Squaresoft's traditional mech IP. Like I mentioned in the past, the last turn-in he did was Left Alive, and he did not left a good impression, so...
Well,
hold
looks
on.
like we got a mecha here. Oh snap,
Unless this
it's
is Left
Front
Alive.
Mission
There you go,
first.
Which one?
A full remake of the first Front Mission game is storming
Front Mission
onto
first.
Nintendo
Alright.
Oh,
Switch.
is this a remake of the first one? Yes,
Front
it's a
Mission
remake of the
first
first one,
remake.
yes!
Weaponized
Wow,
machines
I'm...
Wow, Square is actually on a roll with these. Pretty cool. The composer is actually Masashi Amazu, believe it or not.
aiming for enemy parts to destroy.
He actually started here, if I recall correctly. Let me see.
Mix and match various weapons and parts to customize your
The first game was composed by Yoko Shimomura and Noriko Matsuida.
Ah, okay, I bet he must have started somewhere else then.
Forever Entertainment SA.
Nintendo Switch this summer.
Oh, they're also doing the
Forever
sequel.
Entertainment! Those are Forever Entertainment are the guys who made the Panzer Dragoon remake. That's what they were referring to for the contracts.
Oh,
Wait,
the ultimate Disney and Pixar racer.
What? Game Loft? The same guys who did
Game Loft?
Disney Magic Kingdom?
Mobile.
Racing action.
The same guys who
Mobile
made
developers.
they also made Earthworm Jim HD.
The legendary roster of characters.
When did they start getting into console game development?
Unless this is actually one that is also mobile and this is a simple console port.
That's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if this is something I can tour the Earthworm Jim remake, where
Especially
it's a mobile
because
game first,
these
and
designs...
it gets
Oh my
console
god,
ports
it's
later.
dubbing. Also, if I recall correctly, this design reminds me of a theme. Disney has been having a bit of mobile minor renaissance recently because we had a couple of crossover gacha games themed around the proper Disney cartoons, where they used some experimental stuff. Like one of them is actually like a fantasy turn-based RPG, actually with different designs for the characters.
I'll admit, that game actually looks kind of
Classic
interesting.
franchises on Nintendo Switch.
Star Wars, The Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed!
From Aspire.
As Darth Vader's secret apprentice.
Nice.
I just bought this on Game Pass.
Aspire has been the one that... Oh, please tell me that it's a remaster, but it's also multiplayer, please.
Plot twist is a remaster of the Wii version.
Even more destructive
We'll have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Asper is the one who's also making the Knights of the Old Republic remake, and they recently ported the original Knights of the Old Republic to the Switch.
Not just
So I
that,
get the feeling they made some kind of deal with Disney to make Star Wars related stuff.
In general, actually, but also they're responsible for porting some of the other titles like Jedi Knight.
Oh, hey, look, it's
I think
Assassin's
this was
Creed,
actually
the Ezio collection. You know, the collection that should have been the first one on Switch?
I think this actually was leaked, this particular release. But yes, Aspire actually did make a proper deal with Disney because they did handle Star Wars gaming before, the ones that Pedro mentioned.
Didn't they also do Star Wars Episode 1 Racing?
Yes, that's what I mentioned.
So, yeah, Ezio collection, of course.
Oh,
so what's
gyro
next?
controls,
And their gyro controls are the original.
Yes.
Also, the gyro on the Switch is fine.
Oh, Gundam Battle
People need
Alliance.
to calm down.
Actually, yeah, I mean, yeah, the gyro on Switch is definitely...
Even with the drifting.
I still want that Unholy War-esque Gundam game.
We don't talk about the drifting.
Also, the drifting doesn't affect. Also, the drifting doesn't affect the gyro.
Alongside friends in online co-op multiplayer. SD Gundam
I don't know if it's actually supposed to be a new game or a port.
Two Worlds Cross.
Two Worlds Cross.
No way. Could it be
RPG classic?
Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition?
Oh wait, this is actually an updated version of that's more based on the original Radical Dreamers.
Seems like it, maybe.
Wow, what's the
Yeah,
difference?
it's using the same AI upscaler that Square has been using for most of its ports for PS1 stuff.
You think M2 is making this one too?
Potentially.
Wow.
Yeah, I just really hope it has some quality of life improvement that allow you better, navigability in the story.
Check it out, Tio. Check it out, Tio. The prodigal son finally returns.
Like I said previously, I'm fine with that.
Now, if only we could get a console port of Chrono Trigger HD, that would be nice.
And so, yeah, Chrono Cross, that's everyone's favorite, isn't it?
I don't understand why.
You can actually, it has included the original Radical Dreamers visual novel.
There you go.
April 7th.
April 7th.
Okay, this is a pretty good direct so far, not gonna lie.
It does remind me of the one of last year because it's involving a lot of Japanese stuff.
Oh, Kirby!
Kirby.
But didn't your game just come out? Oh wait, is this DLC for it?
No.
Oh my god, it's a Flight Ford Anglia!
Oh?
Nintendo, these are not ferocious enemies, no matter how, fearsome you may want them to look.
Time to go American, Kirby.
This franchise will try to make interesting, terrifying.
Okay, this cutscene is making me very confused, like tone-wise.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Oh my god, he's gonna run over some foxes.
That cutscene was all fucked up in all kinds of ways.
Seriously. I gotta see what happened with the car. Does he become one with the car, or does he eventually give up on...
actually ingest it?
Kirby actually had to give up on eating something?
Which is pretty unusual, actually.
That is unheard of.
Kirby is normally used to ingest gods every 2 days.
Mouthful mode. Oh my god. So that means that some things can't be properly ingested, which means that some of them may partially be from his mouth.
It's interesting because we're implying it's stuff technological, inorganic stuff that's about civilization, when Kirby has been pretty okay ingesting that in the past.
No, this is human stuff. It's different.
Of wonder.
Course. No, she writes about the environment.
Well, okay, to be fair, we do see that there are apparently the remnants of some lost civilization here, so maybe this is a human town, and that's
For a reminder, one of the Kirby games, I forgot which specific one, does actually have the remaining of Earth as a frozen planet. So,
oh hey, Waddle Town. Does this mean DDDD will be in on the venture at some point? Crafting, of course.
Yep.
This game definitely looks adorable.
They'll also change Kirby's appearance.
He doesn't need any more power.
Do I look like I... Oh, sorry, I have to do a Kirby voice. Do I look like I need your power?
Oh?
Maybe.
A new adventure awaits our pink puffball.
Jesus Christ. Oh, there's DDD, corrupted again.
Or maybe it's just his mother this time, and Kirby's literally driving on the open road bridge there to the big city.
I guess it's tradition for Kirby to be, at this point, both cute and immensely fucked up at the same time.
Yep.
Launching later next month. Please look forward to its release.
Alright,
keep them coming.
Alright,
we're actually taking our way through. Oh, MLB the show.
MLB the show's on Switch.
ピッチャーの大谷翔平です。任天堂スイッチ上で今回初めて MLB 打賞22が楽しめるようになりました。それではこちらをご覧ください。
That's right, Otani-san.
Anyway,
oh yeah, I gotta say, San Diego Studio must be really confused. They're a PlayStation-owned developer, and yet they have to work with Xbox and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that frame rate. That frame rate.
Yeah, the frame rate. It looks pretty choppy. What the hell?
Was this the best trailer you can come up with?
On Nintendo Switch. Have friends that play MLB.
I love how the guy narrating this sounds bored.
Or more like he has ingested an entire pack of cigarettes.
I guess we're doing this game for the Switch
there's
now.
The PlayStation Studios logo.
Yeah, it's so weird seeing PlayStation Studios on Nintendo.
Next.
Get used to it, Lives. It's becoming basically the norm.
Game collection.
Oh, game collection.
Full of games with these.
Alright, let's see.
Ooh.
Oh, hey!
What the hell's Integra Masterpiece?
It's yet another name they came up
as
for.
As in, it's basically the entire franchise. That's what they mean.
Also, I checked, and yes, the first game of Mission that was actually as a worthwhile was Gun Hazard.
Yeah, I'll stick with the PS4 versions I have. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Considering how the cloud versions have been seen so far, are you sure you still want to do that?
Also, I'm sorry, dudes, there was no point in putting every single Kingdom Hearts game on cloud here when it could have perfectly gone on the platform.
I mean, free maybe, but
there was no excuse for the rest, though, especially not a free DS.
Kanoa's alive?
And to see Reverie series.
How are you alive? You've been dead all this time. Where the hell have you
Finally,
been?
this actually was not leaked, but Banco did the trademark about Klonoa a long time ago, so people were expecting.
That's cool.
Yeah, Klonoa 1 and 2 at least.
Yeah,
fucking time.
You know, this direct has definitely been full of some good surprises.
So next.
Wait! Portal?
Portal?
So I got the PS3 can't get a decent port, and yet the
Portal
Switch
Companion Collection.
Yep.
Okay, you have to remember that back in the early 2010s, Valve was actually developing a bit for console. They had the so-called Orange Box, which included Team Fortress 2, Left 4 Dead, and Portal, I think, both for the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
And of course they include the sequel.
The sequel adds in local, online, and split-screen multiplayer modes.
Shame we couldn't have Gabe Newell announcing this directly. Can you imagine just the fat bastard arriving on screen directly?
So, Gabe, can we get Portal 3 yet?
This year.
Eh?
A classic comes
What is this?
It's a game about mountains.
Wait. Oh, is this Triangle Strategy? Oh, wait, no, it can't
is it?
be.
No, it's a classic, so...
Legend
is alive.
Is this Live Alive? Yes! Oh my god, it's Live Alive!
There you go. Right, and they're even using the Octopath Traveler engine.
Oh my! This is the game that I was talking about, John, because this is actually the predecessor of Octopath.
So
oh my god, it's so beautiful.
It looks like you can even play part of this as a Western, which is awesome.
Yes, like you said, Jova, it actually does include a segment because it's an epic expanse through time from the the dinosaur age to the modern future, and you have to choose between the characters. Once you collected all the stories, you unlock the story that tells you the origin of the villain character that has been tormenting all the characters in the past. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, this looks like it could be fun.
Yeah, no, buy this, not even buy, but play this in any capacity that you can. Even if this version does not turn out the way you want, emulate the old version if you're not convinced. You have to experience this game at some point anyway.
So what's different about this version from the old version?
Sorry, Java?
So what's different about this version from the old version?
It's been remade with the Octopath Traveler engine, and the combat system is slightly changed.
For the better or for the worse?
Well, that's what we'll have to see.
Yes.
The first trailer
live at Evage.
Sure. Yeah. My god, Square is really on a roll with these ports and remakes.
Yeah, a lot of Square ones. What's this next one?
I heard a baseball noise.
Switch Sports.
Okay, it's also interesting because Square has released recently their fiscal year report, and they did mention that the HD titles section did tank slightly compared to the previous year, but they were still satisfied overall. So it's certainly depending on combined also with the fact that the pandemic going on, meaning that they prefer doing that when developing just new stuff.
So this is the successor to Wii Sports, but with a slightly clunkier title.
Straight ahead, or give it a little curve.
Oh my
Wow,
god!
several million units immediately.
Why not just call it
ASMR moment?
Why not call it Switch Sports? I think the Nintendo makes it sound a bit clunky.
The long-awaited sequel to Wii Sports, guys.
Nice, I guess.
It's another multiplayer game for me and my friends. So.
The Joy-Con controllers to shoot and perform diving headers. By attaching a Joy-Con controller to the leg strap accessory included with the physical version of the game, you can play shootout mode with intuitive kicking motions. Badminton. Control your shots left and right while keeping.
Mainly, I'll probably be playing the bowling the most because that was my favorite. That was my favorite one on Wii Sports.
Finally, volleyball.
Makes sense that they would have more sports that they can now use because the gyro on Switch can detect certain hand motions a lot better.
How the hell's this gonna work on handheld mode?
Simple, you would hold it like you were actually doing it in real life.
We're
all grasping.
Or you just swing your Switch around or something like.
Yeah. Knowing my luck, the Joy-Con will probably end up cracking through the screen.
You do wear the straps to prevent that stuff, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, that sounds like
you kind of have yourself to blame for any hazards there, Dwibs.
Well, did I ever say it wouldn't be my fault?
Well,
you did complain still.
Yeah. Oh. Koizumi, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's gonna play volleyball, I think.
Yeah. I'm here to announce that I am leaving Nintendo and making a sports team.
Sure.
You know, they're in quite a sports mood today. We had Mario Strikers, of all things, returning. There was that big thing they made about the MLB matter. And this, too.
So, go on.
Oh, we're gonna get a demo.
Okay.
Sure.
So, you think we're gonna get the Mario movie trailer in this?
Oh God.
So
yeah, that would, you know.
Guys were speculating they were going to wait Mario Day to do it.
You know, Shiro, depending.
That makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, Shiro, depending on how the trailer turned out, it would either enhance this very good direct, or it would single-handedly ruin the whole thing.
Okay. With how good the direct has been, I wouldn't say it'll ruin the whole thing, but it will put a damper on it if it's bad.
Frankly, I'm just waiting the same people that did the exact same thing last year, where because some things are repeating, they're saying there were too many RPGs.
Nah. I mean, here there seems to be a lot more variety. But anyway, though, so we're literally hearing commentary from Koizumi and the president of Nintendo.
Now's their chance.
I'm getting some minor flashbacks to the music band performance.
I don't think it's that bad.
I mean, I'm saying it's technically bad, but more like, did we need the presentation with these two?
Don't you see, it's to show that they're gamers like us.
That was an introduction to Nintendo Switch.
Just call it Switch Sports.
April 29.
We're planning a free update.
You know, Dwebs, you can do that if you want. Nintendo just doesn't have to.
Yeah, fuck Nintendo. That's what you can use a leg. They're making a leg strap for playing the football.
Sure.
Oh, golf will
and they're also adding golf.
I mean, there was golf in Wii Sports, so.
Yeah, but this is an update.
Yeah.
And now, a request to everyone. To help ensure that you can all enjoy playing online, we'll be having an online.
They are really putting quite a bit of.
Oh, a test.
You have to remember, Jova, the original was, literally the killer app for the system for a lot of casuals, so...
Oh, yeah. Like
I might
said,
take part in that one.
I actually will not be too surprised if this sells a lot, too.
February 1820.
Yeah, I'll take part in that one. I took part in the Splatoon 2 test.
That's all I have for now about Nintendo Switch Sports. I hope you're looking
Yeah,
forward
sure,
to
why
this
not?
game. Let's see.
Yeah.
On with the show.
Nintendo Switch heavy.
Next.
Hey, Taiko!
Taiko Drum Master.
Oh yeah, the game where you can annoy the shit out of sleeping parents.
Are they finally going to show the one where Phoenix actually shows up in?
The Western releases, since I've actually played them, a lot of the Western releases of these games don't have a lot of the music because Japan copyright not coming over.
Megalovania.
Oh my god, Megalovania!
Why not?
They already had it in the one that came out on Switch before.
Take advantage of a practice mode to replay sections of songs as many
Zelda.
times as you'd like.
Oh, the William Tell Overture!
For those who don't know who this belongs to, it's technically a Bandai Namco IP, technically.
It's fun. Get ready to destroy your hands, seriously.
I can't wait to see the box art with their brand new logo.
Drum to your heart's content. When Taiko no Tatsujin, Rhythm
They're still using the top left one as if they know, oh god, the new one's crap, but let's hide it as much as we can.
Access to over 500 songs will be available at launch.
Love
Damn.
What's new with these Nintendo Switch games?
What's the deal with Switch games? There you go, there's Triangle Strategy.
RPG game, Triangle
The game that literally faked people out with thinking it was Greedy's Attorney at first.
And his allies will be engulfed in the conflict.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually, Joker, I wouldn't object to an 8-bit style Ace Attorney game.
Sure.
Also, this is more based on the 16-bit era, Dwebs.
The promise of a better world. A new demo playable
I mean, the Game Boy Advance was
available on Nintendo eShop later today.
Oh, so this game's being released episodically?
No, it's a demo.
They're giving you a demo. You can play to the end of chapter.
Oh, there's
3.
Cuphead, the DLC Cuphead.
The delicious last course.
I still need to watch the trailer for the animated series.
Play up to chapter 3, and then you can carry over your progress to the next one.
The clever Miss Chalice is a new playable character. Take down fearsome foes with her double jumps, rolling dodges, and more. Cuphead, the delicious last course, wallops its way onto Nintendo Switch June 30th.
Oh, I was actually wondering if we're gonna have something like that.
All it takes is one hit.
There,
Oh,
Zero
it's a hardcore mode.
Getting hit even once causes a game over in the brutal,
Damn.
Can you face this new challenge?
So literally one-hit kill mode.
Yeah.
The Metroid series. Take advantage of increased recovery
Oh.
with the newly added
Oh,
rookie
you have a
mode.
rookie mode as well, so... Hey, they made a mode especially for me, how lovely.
Basically a very easy mode for those who are not good at Metroid.
Free update in April will add a boss rush mode.
Oh,
cool.
boss
Bosses
rush.
continuously,
I like that.
one at a time.
Cannot stress enough how much Metroid Dread is an awesome game, and you should definitely buy that. Show that team some good support.
Oh,
Nice
Airbound.
stuff.
Shigesato Itoi had teased about something Airbound related
Awesome.
coming.
Yeah, I saw that.
Is this it? Is
I think
this
this is
finally it?
I think this is part of that Switch Online thing.
Yeah, it's
You
been
get
released.
1 or 2 and you'll like it.
But what about free?
No, not for you.
Yeah. You know, someday we'll have to cover these games. And boy, oh god, is handling Earthbound Beginnings going to be quite a trip?
Who gets to voice Master Belchadrova?
That's a good question.
I would like to remind you that he is literally a line that mentions
there you go.
Earthbound Beginnings. That he
Earthbound
literally
Beginnings.
mentions drown in your own vomit. Yes, seriously.
Hey,
I mean,
remember-
this is a game where a bunch of kids also get high at points, so you know, it's
Yeah.
whatever.
That's not even getting into the part with that incredibly creepy disembodied head that, well, that's some
underage.
pretty screwed up stuff.
Sort of my. What is this? That Doctor Who episode with the people that take over bodies.
Yeah. and Herbal Beginnings.
Yep, still no third one.
Come on, Reggie, where is Mother 3?
How about this instead?
Burn. Just burn.
Wait.
Oh, Kimetsu Yaiba.
Yeah, you're still not getting free. I'm so sorry.
Minor game Zombie Army 4.
Dead War. Nice smile there, mate.
Oh, gets it from Adin Undying Moon.
Yeah, the Konami had mentioned that it was like in beta last year, but it's about to be fully released.
I think they said that it'll actually be available later today.
Yeah, the new Demon Slayer, which again, yes.
The
publisher surprised me. I thought it would be Namco, but no, it's Sega.
It's just a bit random, yeah.
Lego Bros.
Okay.
Well, it's like Lego dancing for a second there.
It's their attempt at a platformer brawler. Oh boy, the game about being in school.
2 Point Campus. These games actually tend to be favorably received on PC. I'm just wondering if we can get an audience on consoles. So, what's the one last thing?
Here's some news from Mario.
Oh boy, Mario Kart.
Boy.
Is this time for a new Mario Kart?
So, we've been working on remastering select courses
Oh.
across the Mario Kart series.
Oh, so it's going to be a Mario Kart equivalent of the Mario Party thing.
Where's this DLC for Deluxe?
They're seriously adding DLC to Mario Kart 8?
Well, we don't know that.
I'm guessing I'm guessing they're at a point where with Mario Kart 8, keeping adding more content is better for them than just make a new Mario Kart, I guess.
Probably. I mean,
this is going to become the new GTA 5.
As a game, I guess it works for the games as a service, formula.
Yeah, you were right. It's DLC.
Yeah.
Booster Course Pass.
This isn't games as a service, though.
Well, the formula is still technically this. Oh,
even Mario Kart Tour, the one that people running.
Holy cow! Well, I'll get.
Waves.
You know what? I will give them credit. That is a size-worthy amount of content that they're adding. So. There's going to be 6 waves of this game. Holy cow.
We even have a track from the mobile game. Huh.
Yeah, the one people touched for like 5 minutes and then gave up on.
You know what? It may not be Mario Kart 9, but hey, if they also add in some new characters, that would be good too.
Okay, $25 for the entire piece. I think it fits. It might be a bit intimidating, but considering the content that you get, sure.
You're getting 48 courses for $25.
And if you have the expansion pack Mario Nintendo Switch Online thing, you get the booster course pass for nothing.
Alright.
So how much worth has that added to the thingy for you then, guys?
Still not much. Alright, the one more thing. Alright. So.
Stayed for Breath of the Wild 2? Maybe?
No, this is really not Breath of the Wild 2.
Oh,
is this actually the new Fire Emblem?
Well, this is Xeno. Nah, the guy's got a British accent.
So? Might be
Xenogears.
That's the way.
Actually, no. Oh, please tell me Xenoblade X.
Xenoblade. Sorry, I got it mixed up.
Wait.
Yeah, it is something Ubisoft related.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Wait, is this gonna be like a Xeno Warriors kind of game?
I saw this coming.
You're not enemies now.
Fine for you, isn't it?
That said, this looks like a Xeno game, definitely.
Try to move forward.
Yeah, Ubisoft had teased something for a while on our website.
Also, British voice actors, 10 out of 10.
Those look like about some previous Xenogear games, though. Sorry, Xenoblade games. We've been playing so much Xenogears, it's on the brand.
Whatever life is lost, I won't let you shoulder it all alone. What good filling up these flickering clocks
So what's Nia's descendant
I get
here
it,
on
you're
about?
British.
Ouroboros abhor this world. They must be erased without a trace.
The game is called Cloud.
Xenoblade Chronicles. Come on.
Put that fucking number already.
There we go.
There we go,
Xenoblade
free.
Chronicles free. So all 3 Xenoblade Chronicles games will in fact be on Nintendo Switch. And this is actually coming this year.
Remember, Monolith is owned by Nintendo at this point.
That being said, why is Xenoblade Chronicles X not on Switch
It's
yet?
still the one of the major Wii U games that still hasn't left the system. It's so painful.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct.
Alright.
Thank you for watching.
That was pretty
Alright.
good.
Pretty good. Alright, that's pretty much it. Thoughts? James, what do you think?
Yeah, this is actually a really, really good Nintendo Direct. There were a lot of unexpected announcements, but most especially like the stuff like Xenoblade.
Blade with it's a word.
Yeah, we get a Xeno game, a third installment of one of them. Also stuff about the salmon fish run thingy. Also a lot of surprise announcements for remasters, including the one that surprised me the most was Chrono Cross, considering how disliked that game is, from what I can tell.
It has a fan base, but it's a very acquired taste.
It's also the fact, Liz, that it's more of a commitment that Square is trying to have. One way or another, as Pedro mentioned, is still not a perfect, kind of way, but Square is trying to repropose as much as they can their old catalog in some kind of fashion. And there had been some teasing throughout last year that they were doing something Chrono Cross related. There was even an event doing with a mobile game tied to it.
And quite a few Square announcements as well. Seriously, I mean, they Square announcements as a whole took up like a third of the Direct.
It's kind of like what happened last year to the Direct of around this time.
And yeah, so who can forget Switch Sports, the official title of the game? And yeah, I'm actually okay. I am a bit puzzled as to why the golf bit has to be added in an update, because the golf was in the original Wii Sports.
I guess they're just testing it right now. I wonder if they wanted to potentially raise it for later, but due to different circumstances, they're preferring to, release it earlier and having, a small set of free updates so that, add new, sports to it.
Yeah, well, speaking as a former pro-ranked Wii Sports bowling player, I am looking forward to kicking all your asses.
Nice cock.
and yeah, I mentioned it before, but yes, but yeah, it ends on a high with British the RPG. But yeah, all in all, a very good Nintendo Direct. I probably won't be able to buy all the games because budget. But yeah, overall, really good Nintendo Direct, and I'm looking forward to whenever the next one is, which will probably be a Splatoon Direct or something.
Or a Pokemon one, we might see that.
Possibly.
So, Shiroi?
Okay. No, that was a really good Direct. It's still kind of a shame that people still don't have Breath of the Wild news, though. Because, it's been like 2 years. But yeah, aside from that, no, a lot of good stuff here. A lot of classics people like. Sorry about Mother 3 again. Although you do kind of have that. You do kind of have that, just not, officially.
I get the idea that at this point, I mean at this very point, considering also the last couple of years, Nintendo just has no idea how to properly translate the game, considering that some of the themes, even in the fan translation, have not aged for the better. So
that or they're just saving Mother Free as like their absolute coup de grace backup plan in case of this. Like,
sure.
They probably have the localization.
You'll be asking for this on your deathbed and you still won't get it.
They probably have it behind a break glass in case of financial ruin moment. Because
Yes.
would probably be the one thing to save them from even the darkest crevice.
But anyway, Kirby game looks great. I mean, Kirby is always a fine franchise anyway, but I don't know, this just looks very amusing, and I'll probably get it. It's a franchise I do, it's a franchise I do dive into every once in a while, so yeah, that's cool. Wasn't Advance Wars supposed to come out last year initially?
I don't remember, actually. Let me see in the meantime. Go on.
But, Xenoblade? Cool, I guess.
Cat girls
Yes.
You guess?
Instant 10 out of 10 because cat girls.
All right, I'll take it.
Okay. And, am I forgetting anything? Oh, yes.
I found the news here in the meantime, yeah. So Advance Wars was originally supposed to be released on December 3rd, 2021, but was delayed.
Now, what was that thing you were...
I thought so.
Now, what was that thing you were forgetting, Shiroi?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, the reason I showed up today. No. But, Splatoon 3, Salmon Run, I would like some story context as to why this is here, please, because it's a little fucked up.
Don't you see, Shiroi? Our little salmon friends don't need to know.
Splatoon being fucked up.
They don't need to know what we
else is
do.
new?
Shiroi,
I mean, Splatoon is pretty fucked up, but now they're just being front and center with it.
Shiroi, our little salmon kids don't need to know what their parents do to put food on the table, but it has to be done.
That's fair enough. Also, yay, new Salmon Run music by the sounds of it, because I actually do like how the music is in that particular mode. New areas. I hope we get more than 4 though, because they didn't put much into the one in Splatoon 2. But anyway, probably next will be the test fire announcement, I think, and the release date, because we've had everything so far, including a story teaser. So unless there's another mode that they're gonna put in, something. I don't know. I'm just have Splatoon brain rot, and I'm so sorry. I think that's it. Yeah, pre-order date. I still don't have that yet. I'm ready to give you my money, Nintendo.
Okay, Pedro.
Okay. No, it was pretty great actually. A lot of the cool, like Theo said, a lot Square continues to demonstrate they're willing to go back into their back catalog and get even stuff that's not necessarily a moneymaker out in HD. Again, like I said, I still don't understand the lack of a Chrono Trigger on consoles. But because it's
weird because I also checked in the meantime thing I wanted to say before. For reference of the audience, the news are actually coming a bit distilled, so apologies if I don't know immediately all the details, but it's mentioned here that the Chrono Cross Radical Dreamer port is actually for multi-plat, also for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and Switch. The Live Alive remake instead seems to be an exclusive. No news yet on the front mission stuff.
Okay.
So, I'm curious, actually, with Live Alive, do we consider that a remake, technically, since,
Yes, it is, because it technically, again, Jova, it's, if you take a look at what the original looked like, you can see how it's not looking identical to the one of that they showcased for this trailer. Even the character portraits and artworks are different, while they're still keeping, ideally, the original art style that they had. For those who don't know, the original Live Alive had this gimmick where each character was designed by a different artist. The ninja character, believe it or not, is designed by the mangaka of Detective Conan, believe it or not. But while I think it's Akiko Yoshida that is doing it, we're still trying to keep that kind of differentiation in mind. But you can tell that this is definitely a remake.
Was the Cornell game also a remake?
No, those may seem to be ports. Specifically, the first one seems to be based on the Wii version, while the second one on the PS2, I think. I don't know. Again, I will see if the news gets some updates in the meantime. Continue, Pedro.
Yes. Okay, like I said, and I'm sorry, I know I sound like a broken record when I say this, but Square continues not to do it, so I guess I have to keep repeating it until they do it. Chrono Trigger HD has been on PC for a while now. It's properly fixed. Isn't it about time we put that crap on Switch, PS4, and Xbox One while we're at it?
Well, you see, Pedro, we want to first make a remake of Marco's Magic Football before we get down to doing that.
But then Jova, I would love that too. I would. I'm probably the biggest fan of that game in the world. But we'll have to redo that game at some point, like with all of us.
Yeah, so I can see what all the hype's about.
Well, there's no hype, Jova. Like, if by hype you mean I'm hype and nobody else is, then yeah, I don't really know if that constitutes as hype. So, whatever. The point, don't worry, Jova. I'm perfectly okay with the franchise continuing in obscurity because it's not because if anything, its obscurity is kind of part of its charm at this point. So I'm okay. I've learned to live with its obscurity. Don't worry. The point is, Square, get that Chrono Trigger shit on consoles. It's about if you're getting Chrono Cross in, why not Trigger while you're at it? I'm sorry, but this comes across as really screwed up priorities. The one game that everybody loves, they keep it on PC. The game that's very mixed bag, an acquired taste, like Jova said, that one gets the proper immediate multi-plat release on all platforms at once.
I really do wonder what the plan is there. Like I
also really wonder if it's something that where the quality of life improvements are just present but minimal, like in the Legend of Mana remaster, which is technically not a bad thing, but it doesn't fix any of the core problem that get the gameplay experience potentially frustrating. Or it's a case like the Saga Frontier remaster where they actually apply a bit more onto it.
That's cool, but I don't think it answers my question.
No. I was answering instead to Jova, when you mentioned what was the plan here. Because, again, it might fit a bit in a sense of wanting to release this before this means that, they wanted to have more dedication to it, or it was easier for them to do it. Because even patches aside, the Chrono Trigger port on PC as a user interface that I'm not sure can be as visually appealing on console potentially. I don't know. This is just a guess potentially, but I don't know. And even so, I don't think it might be too hard. Again, I'm just as confused as you might be in terms of the priorities.
So it's much more simple. Someone forgot all about it at Square, and nobody seems to bring we have to wait until someone at Square remembers, oh yeah, that's right, there's a game that came out before this one, wasn't there? It's such as simple as putting it in, because having it there is better than not having it at all, regardless of like I said, I think the menus look fine. I mean, I personally modded them to look more like the original, but I still think the vanilla menus look fine enough. I mean, I still think it would be much better to still have it there rather than not having it there, because there's no reason for it not to be there. It's just a stupid decision. But to go back to the Direct itself, yes, everything looks great. Like Xenoblade 3 looks great, Kirby looks great. It's Metroid. It's nice to see Metroid Dread getting some DLC, and again, like some modes to make it a bit more accessible to other players. So now even people like Dibs don't have an excuse to not play it. And some nice updates. And yeah, that being said, though, okay, Nintendo, it's nice that Metroid Dread is getting some post-launch content, but what about Don't you think there's something? You were asking earlier, Shiro, if you forgot something. No, it's not you who forgot something. Clearly, Nintendo forgot something.
Would you say it's prime time to remind them?
Yeah, I think it's prime time we remind them that they're forgetting something.
Oh, I see. So Nintendo are forgetting a few things then.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair...
If anything, Shiro, Prime 4 is sadly more in being development than Breath of the Wild sequel.
I guess...
That's been in development for, like, what, a decade?
No, not a decade.
Oh, not
for a while.
4 years at
Oh my
least.
god, nearly half a decade.
Half a decade then.
It was announced around the same time as Samus Returns, so yeah.
I mean, I get that they had to restart development from scratch with Retro. I get that, but you're telling me that
Samus Returns was announced in 2017, wasn't it?
Yeah, in that case, it's 5 years.
Yeah, that is half a decade then. Oh god.
Well, there you go then. See, okay, let me put it this way. Okay, I get it. Mid-development, they had to restart everything from scratch and give the game to Retro because whatever they were doing before wasn't working. Okay, I get that. But it's been like 2 to 3 years since that happened by this point. You're telling me that you still have nothing to show me? Not even a piece of concept art, a postcard, anything? No? I'm sorry, but if it's taking you this long to even show something, not even a teaser trailer, then clearly there must be something wrong. I mean, I really have to wonder if Retro's failed original IP failing and being canceled caused some problems at Retro. I really hope Retro... I really hope everything's back well at Retro, because it does seem like ever since Tropical Freeze, there's been some doubts, clearly. And yeah, the fact that Metro Prime 4 is still missing in action, we really need some awesome footage to really quell the doubts, Nintendo.
To give them credit, I don't think Retro have really had a bad release yet, but I do get being uneasy about it.
Oh, they haven't, Joe, but that's the thing. They haven't, but at the same time, ever since Tropical Freeze, yeah, they haven't really gave us anything new. I mean, they ported Tropical Freeze to the Switch, but, you know, well, okay, that's nice, but Tropical Freeze came out in 2013, Jova, on the Wii U. It's now been 8 years since then. And Retro has yet to release a single new game since then. That's a bit worrisome.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me. By all means, do be worried. I'm just saying, it's like, well, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt until we get to that point. Like, granted, the writing may be on the wall, so who knows at this point.
Like I said, it's because... Okay, like I said, for those who don't know anything, check out Arlo's video on Retro Studios, since he goes for all the stuff. But basically, there's been a lot of departures from Retro Studios over the years that do cause some concern for whether or not the current people there are still capable. But again, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. The point is, yeah, no, the Retro is really great. Again, like that one, forgetting aside, I'm really hoping at no Breath of the Wild 2, which, well, it's fine by me. I'm looking forward to seeing how Breath of the Wild 2 is, but I can wait, since I wasn't a big fan of the first one anyway. That being said, Nintendo, while we're on the topic of remaking old games from Square, you know one thing you could also do, Nintendo? Remake the first game, the one that actually needs a remake. Just saying. But
Prime 2 could use a remake as well, too.
Well, yeah, Zelda 2. Well, yeah, we could have a Zelda Origins collection or something along those lines.
I thought you were talking about the Prime trilogy.
No. Well, I will argue the Prime trilogy is fine as it is. I don't think it needs a remake. A remaster, maybe, but not a remake. The point is, yeah, that was a great Nintendo Direct. Cool. Splatoon 3 also looks great, and yeah, pretty much everything about it works as well. So yeah, no complaints from me, aside from the fact that Metro Prime 4 is still not anywhere around, and the fact that Square Enix has yet to acknowledge, seems to have forgotten about Chrono Trigger for whatever reason. Seriously, it's Super Mario Galaxy 2 being out of 3D All-Stars all over again.
Although that transcends potentially just Nintendo.
whatever. The basic point is, aside from those two clear questionable things, not one from Nintendo themselves, one from Square. Yeah, pretty much top-notch direct. No complaints. That's it. Go on.
Java?
Yeah. This was a pretty great direct, honestly. We had a lot of big surprises. Like, I'll admit, I wasn't necessarily chomping at the bit for Mario Kart 9, but I definitely was not expecting that they would actually come back after, 5 years to add in a healthy dose of content to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And
seriously, that's a lot.
48 courses for $25? That is essentially doubling the size of the game for a fraction of the price. Like, no, that's pretty good, honestly. And honestly, this will be even cooler if these waves come with, new car parts and hopefully some new characters as well. So, I mean, shoot, maybe Nintendo realized, okay, so Smash is done. So what about our other massively big and popular franchise that helps to sell units?
That's another big thing, the fact that this ultimately proves also that Nintendo doesn't have to rely again on Smash announcements for a Direct.
Honestly, anyone could have told you that. It's just that, people kind of forgot after Smash Bros. Ultimate was a thing, and to be fair, it was an incredible, amazing thing that I am sad to see dead, but yes, this does show that they can function without it. Speaking of functioning, though, what kind of black magic was conducted to bring back Mario Strikers? Like, the Mario Strikers, one of the few Mario things to ever get rated T for teen because of characters dressing provocatively, incredibly rude gestures going about here, and it being rough enough to make an English pub look sane and decent by comparison. Like, what was done to bring Mario Strikers back?
Wait, seriously?
Shiroi, trust me, Mario Strikers...
Are people in that game not rude?
Yes.
Shiroi, scroll up a bit on the chat. There's a gif of Waluigi's victory pose that I did mention.
Oh, okay.
But on that note, again, they haven't updated the articles yet. It's not mentioned if it's done by Next Level Games yet, or it's instead done by someone else. I hope it is, because Next Level Games hasn't said anything ever since Luigi's Mansion 3, and now that they're fully owned by Nintendo, you'd think they will be put to work to do something.
I'm confident that this is what they're making too.
But, okay. Yeah, honestly, though, no, Mario Strikers being back was a delectable surprise here and there. And they even brought back the cool art style clips, too, which is, something people love from those.
That's a good point. Can we also get the first two games on the Switch while we're at it, maybe?
I wonder. Maybe that'll be something that they announce later down the road here and there. Like, okay, if this Mario Striker game sells well, then yeah, I will definitely expect, the others to be added on eventually. Or who knows, maybe when we inevitably get the GameCube online pass or whatever. But no, honestly, it's not just a matter of the title being back, though. The game itself looks pretty top-notch as well. You've even got customizable outfits and everything, too, which looks like they may have different stats attached here and there. A well-expanded roster, and yeah, Mario's looking pretty good between Mario Strikers and flipping Mario Kart 8. Like, holy cow, again, don't get me wrong, DLC can be one thing, but it really does take a good plan to get DLC that gets people this hyped, and trust me, we need more DLC that gives this much content for, such a reasonable price. Because I have seen DLCs that charge way more than this for a fraction of this level of content.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Advance Wars 1 and 2 is looking like a pretty good remake. I'm not as excited for it as Teal is, but still, it's nice that that fanbase has something to look forward to. Again, I guess the theme of today's Direct was Resurrection. 'Cause flipping Klonoa is back, baby. Now that is a mascot that was pretty much cold and dead in the ground for God, how many years now?
Too much of a. For a refresher for the audience, after the PS2 title, Namco decided to dump what Whis was supposed to be the brand new mascot. Decided to dump this franchise for Game Boy Advance small stories, like including like a beach volley game and an RPG, and never localize them. Even Chrono's appearance in Namco Cross Capcom was for a game that was never released in the West.
Yeah,
so,
that was kind of messed up.
The best we got was the Wii port, Wii remake of the very first game, but that was literally it.
But yeah, so Klonoa got resurrected. That was amazing. And then there's this Live Alive game, which is apparently also sort of back from the dead here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have not played or seen the original, but from what I saw of this has me excited. Like, a JRPG where you can actually play in the Wild West.
Again, Jova, while it has similar control schemes overall, in each era, you technically get to do something different because it has to be integrated with the story. Like, for example, in the feudal Japan era, it's a stealth mission. For example, in the ancient China, in the Chinese chapter, you're a master that has to choose which pupil will succeed him after he dies, and he does die at the end of the chapters, for example. So it's a thing where each chapter gets something unique about them, but they contribute to the bigger narrative. Like I said, Joe, in the past, think of it kind of like the Seven Soldiers series from Grant Morrison. It's basically this set of stories where each character fighting this bigger war without knowing about it, and then the big bad is revealed towards the end, who was connecting all the dots.
I was actually going to ask, based off of that description, can that also drastically change who's on your party ultimately?
Slightly. I don't know if they're actually going to do for this remake, but spoiler alert, well, small spoiler alert, because everything touched the villain is a big spoiler that I'm not going to mention. But one cool thing that you could do is that if you did something particularly, you could actually have a bad ending where you play as the bosses killing the main characters. Yeah. So, again, I really want to see how we do that in this remake.
Although, fun fact about Live Alive, this is the game that actually literally kind of inspired Megalovania when you get down to it.
Yeah, because it has a track that's called Megalomania.
Yep, and Toby Fox has admitted that he even based the composure of Megalovania off of that song, so yeah. Looking good.
Undertale is basically a bit like Yokai Watch, where the creator just went, here's a lot of stuff that I really like.
I think what's amazing is, just the level of stuff in this direct. Also, fun fact, they're even adding tracks from Mario Kart Tour to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yep. All games get some kind of representation.
Which again just really means, come on, add in some new characters. But okay. Moving along here and there, the Metroid Dread update is pretty good. Nintendo Switch Sports, that looks nice too. I might not pick that one up, but it's sure to be a hit still. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which possibly for the first time may be a direct continuation, because high speculation is that character we saw is still Nia, and given that blades can have a pretty long lifetime, I wonder also, given that it looked like we saw scenes from Xenoblade Chronicles 1, I wonder if Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is officially going to tie all games together and somehow explain them all being in the same world somehow.
Well, remember, Jova, without spoiling again too much, Xenoblade 2 does confirm that it's connected to the first game, just not in a direct way. It's technically speaking not set in the same universe.
Oh, I know
it's
that.
It's complicated. We need to see if it's something similar to this. The presence of a character that's similar to Nier might be just a thing of it's the same species that lives in this world as well. Don't forget that a race is similar to the one of of Ricky is also present in Xenoblade 2.
Oh, I was thinking that too, but no, it seems like speculation is that is actually Nia. Like, I thought maybe it's just someone of the same species. Though, to be fair, given what species Nia technically is, without spoiling the details here and there, you know, that it might actually be her and whatnot. But, you know, details. Spoilery details.
Nah, cat girls just live forever.
Of course.
I mean, hey...
Plot twist, she's Welsh.
I mean, hey, Tokyo Mew Mew is apparently getting a revival, so yeah, I guess so. So, I think I covered just about everything.
What
oh,
about
wait, that's
Fire
right.
Emblem Warriors?
Oh, yeah! No,
the very first thing that they showed.
Oh, yeah, honestly, that was a pretty good opening. Like, I like Fire Emblem Free Houses, so a potential sequel with an alternative timeline? Sure, sign me up. Again, maybe we'll finally get an ending where people just know to talk to each other so that we get a golden route where nobody... Well, at least none of them have to die.
I can tell you this, Jova. I'm having right now on Discord in another server of people that I know from my country who are now very pissed because they believe they were going to get a new mainline game instead.
Well, look, they're about to suffer the Persona 5 experience. Like, Fire Emblem Free House is just sold like milk. So, more milk is coming. And you know what? I'm okay with this. By all means, I am okay with this. Yeah, Splatoon 3 is looking good. Again, getting a little bit more screwed up with stuff, though. Seriously do wonder, why is Salmon Run still a thing even though we're supposedly now, looking after the little salmon kids?
There are theories about that, but you really don't want to get me started on this right now. We've been talking for long enough.
Oh boy. Overall, this Nintendo Direct did what is very... Okay, it definitely showcases one of Nintendo's biggest strengths, the element of surprise. Like, no, as Arlo has called them, they are kind of the kings of left field, essentially. Sometimes you literally just cannot predict what they're going to do. Like, there'll be the big speculation, and then they'll do the exact opposite here and there. This one definitely worked to their strengths overall, I would say. So yeah, good job on this Nintendo Direct. Which leaves your thoughts, Tio.
Yeah, gotta be honest, easily one of my favorite Nintendo Directs, period. Lots of stuff to begin with. Which, to be fair, it was similar also to last year. Last year, around this time period, also had a lot of stuff, but goddamn, it's really impressive, the stuff that they show in just this much. I was dreading that the Switch Sport, showcase demo was gonna drag on too long, but not really. It doesn't even overstay its welcome. It's just in the complex around 5 minutes total, which sure, I guess it's 1/8 of the entire length of the thing, but fair enough. I was dreading it was gonna take the entire final segment and everything. No, then we just kept going and going, and for the stuff that it did show, almost all of it is interesting in some kind of fashion. Yes, Fire Emblem Warriors is not technically the new mainline game, but that's the thing. Tecmo Koei has managed to produce decent Musou games in recent times. Anyway, even with the fact that Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity had a story that kind of disappointed a lot of people, and I get the feeling we might gonna get a repeat of that experience with this one. The core experience of gameplay with Musou is just basically have fun killing shit up left and right. So I'm pretty confident it's gonna be a solid. Advance Wars still look good. I seriously hope Nintendo keeps this trend going. For some of these older titles with just a simpler type of remake applied instead of having to go full through with it, and reimagining them completely. The new Mario Strikers games, it does look the job that it's supposed to do. I hope it's Next Level Games doing it. If not, we'll see what they do, next. Regardless, still interesting to see.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think I may have just gotten confirmation that Next Level Games are the ones working on it.
Okay, then.
Oh, why wouldn't they? They're the ones who made the previous games anyway.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I was just waiting for an official statement. But anyway, no, again, much like last year, Square blowing everyone out of nowhere with their announcement for remaster, but in this case it was kind of a bit more impressive, despite the fact that some of these were kind of leaked. Again, as I mentioned,
it's not even mentioned being leaked. So, okay, I'm seeing it. You remember Luigi's Mansion 3? Apparently there was a teaser for this new Mario Strikers game hidden in it.
Cute.
I'm on a Discord channel that actually points out that it has the exact same animations for the characters as Luigi's Mansion 3 had, too. So, this could be soft confirmation that Next Level Games are the ones working on it, which, again, would make sense.
But yeah, again, the Square stuff is impressive, despite the fact that some of these might have been, being seen coming. Chrono Cross, like we discussed, is interesting, and I can hope that it improves over the original. It's still weird, the fact that the first one is just on PC. I'm technically fine for the time being, because PC is basically the top goal that any game should aspire to be, potentially, and one that's not has to be tied necessarily to one of the big three, mind you. But it's still...
Sorry, go.
Oh, no, go on.
Now, if only Warner Brothers could also get on this trend while we're at it.
You have to be more specific, Pedro, because there's a shitload of stuff they could be porting.
Well, yeah, all of that. Because
Warner Bros. Is not really a great track record for the few that we actually have.
No. Basically, Shiro, to give you basic context, Mortal Kombat is now at an all-time peak in popularity, with Mortal Kombat 11 becoming the highest.
To that.
Well, I could mention other stuff, but that's the one in particular that stands out the most on our contest, considering we went for the entire classic series at this point. But basically, Shiro, MK11 sold the highest numbers of all the MK games, which means the series is at an all-time peak in popularity. So you'd think we'd get a collection of the classic games and maybe finally re-releases of the PS2 era games. Nah.
I guess not.
Even 9, the one that kickstarted the current timeline. Well, not current because we just 11 rebooted it again, but not even 9, which is one of the more recent ones. Not even that. Even that one is still stuck on 360 and PS3.
The closest you get is the backward compatibility program, I think, for Xbox. Xbox Series, but
that's the thing here. We need a re-release on PlayStation 4 and 5 so we can have the Kratos in there.
Unfortunately, I'm not even sure there's gonna be I'm not even sure that's possible, because after that, Ed Boon actually did specifically mention that he did not want to have any more console exclusive guests. So I don't know.
Who knows?
But anyway. Again, Square is kicking again with again, Chrono Cross. It's a bit weird. I can only hope that they actually manages to fix some of the core problem. Something tells me that it might not be the case, and it's a more simple, just upscaling of the thing. The PC version, again, this is multi-plat, and the PC version is also getting to Steam. So I don't have the page yet. So I don't know if it's going to be multi-5 or not. I'm saying this because some of the ports did receive the multi-5 properly, others did not. So it's a bit schizophrenic even on that front. That being said, there is a perfectly relatively serviceable, fan translation that was applied to the old PlayStation 1 version that my country did. So they can easily just put that here potentially. Still, at its core, I'm perfectly okay with this because it's just for preservation purpose. Oh, there you go. The article mentioned itself: French, Italian, German, and Spanish localization. Cool. But let me see. Also, 3D models going to HD, brand new artwork and characters by Nobutero Yuki, refined background music by Yasunori Mitsuda. There's the thing that was leaked. Which enemies encounter there's the on or off random encounters. which for a game like this makes sense considering your grind. Battle enhancement feature, auto battles, which between imitation pixel HD font, the Radical Dreamers novel, as mentioned, and can choose between playing with original updated graphics. Okay, I guess I'll have to see, wait and see for the game itself. But still, again, it might not be the best thing ever, and there might have been other priorities, but I'm perfectly fine that this is happening. At the end of the day, so fine with that. Live Alive is also a neat addition. I was expecting just a simple port, but no, they're actually doing the Octopath style kind of remake. I can only hope it lives to the expectation as much as what the original could deliver. It seems that one seems to be just a Switch exclusive, but I'm fine with that. Again, just for the sake of having people, experience the game in some kind of fashion. Front Mission took a bit out of surprise everyone. We knew that the developer had a contract with Square to apply the same treatment that they did to the Panzer Dragoon games and what they're doing now for the House of the Dead games at Sega. It's a small studio. It's more surprising, if anything, that they're making the games to be released this year. That's because they usually take a long time. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see that Front Mission is not dead despite Left Alive not being the best experience ever. Cool. But not just Square, surprising everyone. Bandai Namco with Klonoa, which is also multi-plat. It's also coming to everything else, not just PS4 and Xbox One, also directly PS5 and Xbox Series. That's also pretty cool. The fact that now everyone can enjoy these particular games after being teased so many goddamn times. The Switch Sport stuff is fine. Again, not really my cup of tea, and I was dreading it was going too long, but it's fine. Kirby: The Forgotten Land, cool. Again, it's interesting overthinking the approach of this new 3D and giving a gimmick similar to some of the previous titles like Planet Robobot had. What else? The update to Metroid Dread, cool. I was maybe aiming a bit too high and believing we were gonna having a DLC story mission, but this is perfectly fine too. It's nice to see that the game is not just left behind, despite the fact that it did sold and received all those accolades. I can only hope that Nintendo actually acquires Mercury Steam at some point because they seem to be the perfect fit to continue the 2.5 in this case, the Metroid Classic type of game series. And as I mentioned, I don't really want them to be bought by a movie company. But what else was there? Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We'll have to see how it turns out. I'm very surprised it's being supposed to release around this year. I get the idea that it might get delayed. Usually for games of that kind of quality, we get these announcements and then a couple of months later they get like a delay of a couple of months.
To give Nintendo credit, they do seem to have been adopting the strategy of trying to hold off on announcing their games until they're, much closer to the release date. In reference of sorts here and there,
Mm-hmm. We'll have to see, and definitely we'll have to see where the story goes. Aside from that, even all the other minor things that they did announce, like the minor games that we know are coming, and also minor and major, like Triangle Strategy, No Man's Sky receiving a port, for example.
And Mario Strikers, of all things.
Mario Strikers.
Back. Oh,
but then I was about to mention. Don't worry. But then, not the last thing that they mentioned, again, that surprising fat DLC pack for Mario Kart 8. That's literally the equivalent of unzipping his pants and having the others hearing a laudable thump, The pass that it showcased seems to be just focusing on the tracks, so I'm not personally really expecting many, if any, new character at all with this one. But just this alone, for the price that it's being asked to, it's pretty convenient as a deal. And the fact that if you already own the extra super special, online pass, bonus. I'm not gonna lie. It still doesn't change the practices that Nintendo, has done for particularly online, even if they seem to be improving on that. But as a deal in itself, it is pretty fine. Apologies if I forgot anything else, but overall, all you need to know is that this one was, again, definitely one of my favorite Nintendo Directs. So cool on that. So I guess we'll see you when the next one happens.
Oh, I should also clarify, I was actually wrong about Mario Strikers being rated T. It was actually rated E for everyone ages 10 and up. Still a first-star Mario game, though.
I think maybe in Europe it might have been rated a bit higher.
Yes. In Europe, it got the equivalent to a T rating.
Alright.
Peggy 12.
Alright, see ya.
Ta-ta.
See ya.